Now that we talked about how to move after the split step, there's probably tons of videos on split steps, but I just don't like how split steps are taught. So I'm going to be talking about that in a couple of my other videos going forward. I haven't done one yet, but after that split step, that first step is very, very important. Just as important is after the shot, the recovery step. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to move after that shot you've just hit. The most common mistake I see with young juniors and recreational players, actually I've seen this at the top level too, in pro level. The most common mistake is that back leg swinging around. I'll show you as a backhand. Forehand we could do later, but since the cameras are set up this way, I'll just show you a backhand. A lot of times when you set up for the backhand, a lot of players try to plant that foot as you're hitting the ball. Now, this is where the key difference is with good from great. Yes, it's very important to get that pivot step and you put that left foot or that outside foot on the lateral side of your movement. But the thing is, a lot of players just do it this way, where that feet is not swinging around, you're just putting it there. You're not supposed to just put it there, it's supposed to swing around. Now, why is that so important? When you're swinging the feet around, it's almost after the shot finishes and then the feet swings around or the feet is put on that outside after the shot. Now, why is that so important? I've talked about it in the previous video, but it's very, very important because you're getting the torque from your torso when that back leg is back and you're reaching forward or you're going all the way through the ball and the shot and then the feet turns around, you get that torque action from your core. Now, if you don't do that, you don't get the core action and you're not going to be very accurate, nor are you going to have a lot of power. So it's very, very important to swing around after the shot, not during the shot. I hope you understand the difference. Common mistake number 2. Tennis is a dynamic balance. You need dynamic balance to be able to move well. What does that mean? You have to keep your balance while you're moving. But that does not necessarily mean you have to be very upright all the time. That is something for another video because it goes into too much detail and I don't want to do that right now. It's very important as you're moving towards the outside of the court, you plant your feet and have your weight on the foot to be able to push off going into the direction that you want to go, which is the middle. You want to plant your whole weight on that foot to be able to push off and go quickly to the middle. A lot of players just go like this and try to push off. There's no way you could push off if your balance is in the middle of your body. You need to put your weight on there to be able to push off. Number 3 is when you put that weight on the back foot, this is such a common mistake. You try to swing around, but you just don't have enough force to swing around, so you put the leg and the feet positioning going this way and toes are facing to the left. Okay, now why is that bad? It's gonna take forever to turn and then go in the direction to the middle of the court and recover quickly. So you don't wanna be here. Not only are you not getting the torque for your shot, but on that recovery step, you're not ready to recover. Hitting that shot takes forever to go. Okay. Number 4, why is this step so important? It transitions into that recovery step, the crossover step, which is super important. Not only is it important to cross over, which a lot of coaches emphasize, but I'm going to tell you why it's very important. If you did all the things that I told you to do and put that foot in the direction that you're going, put the weight on that foot so you could push off. It's very important because when you have your foot pointing in this direction, basically what you're trying to do is you're pushing off and you're sprinting back to the middle. You see that? So after you hit, you're sprinting to the middle. A lot of coaches call it crossover step because it is crossing over that right foot, but you're not going this way, you're actually sprinting back on that first recovery step. That's why it's so crucial to have your foot pointed in that direction that you're moving. And here's the difference. What a lot of players do, I see this with a lot of lower level juniors and intermediate players, they put like the cone there and try to hit and then recover, you know, and then go around the cone, hit, recover. You're basically working on the recovery step in a bad habit. So why is that? Now, let's say I'm starting here right at the middle of the line. As I go hit the ball, I go this way, okay? I'll show you the bad example first. You get to the ball, hit the ball, you shuffle back. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It almost takes 6 steps to get back to where I needed to. A little bit less, actually. Now watch this. You get to the ball, hit the ball here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm actually past it. So 6 steps versus 4 steps when you do the footwork correctly. It's not just important to move fast on the court, but you have to do it correctly in order for you to move fast and efficiently. Now, you don't have to completely face this way when you finish. Now, you don't have to go like that. There's a time when you need to do that, but around 45-degree angle is fine. The angle is not so important. It's just that the toes need to be pointed. If this is a middle, it just needs to point in that direction so you can move quickly. See that? Do it again. Hit, recover, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're back. I've seen so many players who has fast foot speed, but the thing is they have horrible footwork. There's a difference. Just being fast doesn't mean you have great footwork. Footwork for tennis is very, very different from a lot of the different sports. You know, every sport has different footwork, but it's very, very different. So again, hit, plant, toes pointing in the direction of the recovery, push off, sprint, and then you face the opponent. So that's the whole series of movements that you need to be working on. Obviously, I'm trying to break it down right now, and it makes it look like it's very complicated, but it's really not. If you just do it multiple times, it's not very complicated. I just want you guys to know this is the right way to move. So even if you're not quite fast when you first start out, you're gonna be much faster as your level gets higher. One of the prime examples of an elite player not doing this correctly is the girl that I coached. She won Eddie Herr 16s 2 years ago. She came to me for a lesson. She said she's going to Eddie Herr in Orange Bowl, their parents, and she wanted me to take a look at her game and make some modifications or upgrade her game. Because there's a lot at stake, I don't want to do major changes, and she's already a great player. So one of the biggest problems she had was the movement. She wasn't very fast. She wasn't recovering very quickly. So that's one of the things I was looking for. This footwork right here, the recovery step and how you sprint back, was what she was lacking. And once I taught her, she was recovering a lot faster. And even if she was playing bigger kids at her age, she was able to keep up with them and hit bigger shots and recover faster and get ready faster. After that lesson, she worked on it, and eventually she actually won Eddie Herr. I'm not saying I did everything, but the thing is, that was one of the key components that was lacking in her game that was holding her back. When you get to a higher level, all these players play every day and countless hours, but the thing is, the difference could be that little thing that's holding them back. Something like that could be a first round, second round loss to actually winning the whole tournament. I hope this video helped you out. If you like the video, comment, throw a lot of questions at me. That gives me a lot of ideas for content. And check these socks out. RTPTennis.com. These are ultra grip socks. Patrick just gave us a shout out with these socks. These are great if you have toenail bruising or blisters on your feet. A lot of players go through that. So we have one of the ugliest feet ever. So check this out. It'll help your game out. Not only move faster, but you'll save your toenails and the blisters too. Check these out.